Welcome to Fully In It, a show for moms who are called to grow themselves while growing their families. Join me, Kate Saffel, a life and a business coach for moms, a homeschooling mama of 3, and a woman on a quest to show that our lives become even more meaningful when we remember why we are here and what truly matters most. This show is about going fully in it for you and the people you love by showing up powerfully in motherhood, entrepreneurship, in your home life, and for your family vision. Join me for weekly episodes that will inspire you to live intentionally and by your values, to slow down and truly be present to your family life, to make decisions that grow a profitable business without sacrificing anything in the process, and to become the kind of mom and woman you know you're meant to be in this lifetime. Welcome to episode 117 of the Fully In It podcast. On today's episode, I wanted to dig into some beliefs that you may be unintentionally holding that are truly slowing down the growth and the trajectory of your business, as well as your long-term earning potential. These are beliefs that I see many people have when they come to me for coaching. And so what I want you to know from the onset is that there's nothing wrong with you. You're not doing anything wrong. These are very common beliefs to get stuck in. But once you see it and you have that awareness that that is what is actually happening, it is an opportunity for you to pivot away from this thought and start creating new belief systems that will support you. And if you want more on this, I do have an episode a couple episodes ago on business beliefs that I think could be a really valuable one for you to listen to right after this one. Let's go ahead and jump right in and just pay attention to if any of these are you. The first one that I hear quite often, and believe me, I experienced this a lot, especially early on in my business, was the belief, I don't know what I'm doing. And along with that was the fear, what if people find out I don't actually know what I'm doing? It was like I thought I had some kind of secret, and it almost feels like you're hiding something from your people because deep down you don't believe that you know enough, that you are enough, and that you are experienced enough. And so there is this belief or this idea that at some point in the future, you'll know what you're doing. At some point, you'll have enough experience, but you're not there yet. Well, what happens when we believe that? When that is your truth that you are holding, it actually slows you down because you aren't making moves in your business, because you're in a place of fear instead of full commitment and full belief. So another way that we can term this is imposter syndrome. I'm sure you've heard that before. And again, imposter syndrome is just feeling like you don't know enough to do what you're trying to do and that you shouldn't be there. This shows up as thinking that you need more training. You need more experience. You need certifications. You need to create more value or show up on social media longer before you actually start charging. You'll see that it looks a lot like putting the brakes on in your business. I want you to look back over your whole lifetime, and just notice if this concept of like, I need more external training, certificates, awards to be valuable, if that belief was prioritized in your life, or if that was what was celebrated about you. Maybe you were the one who got the good grades and you were celebrated for the more that you did, the more learning that you did. So before I became a coach, I went through grad school, I got my thesis, And that was really hammered into my brain. Like, you need to be giving conference presentations. You need to be attending different trainings. You need to be interning everywhere for free because you don't have enough experience. You're at the bottom of the totem pole. And that was something I really internalized. And I wasn't aware of, but that was what I brought into my business. And so I thought, oh, I don't have enough of what I need to actually help someone, or someone won't want to work with me because they're going to think I don't have enough trainings. I haven't spoken at conferences, so why would someone want to work with me? At the root of all of this is self-judgment. You're judging yourself. You're thinking you need to be more of a certain thing for people to accept you or to choose you instead of someone else. And what I want you to notice is that it may just be because your internal belief system is set to you being not enough, whether that's in your body, your motherhood, your parenting, your home, your business, your relationships. Does this tend to show up in other areas of your life where it's just like, if I could just be better, if I could just do a little bit more, then I will be okay. If I just research how to be a better parent, maybe I need to take this course so that I can show up better for my family, right? It's the same thing. So for me, once I shifted to a place of not questioning my enoughness, it radically changed my business. Because where I was at in my business at that moment in time was more than enough for me to help someone. Because at the end of the day, that is what we are doing with our businesses, is we're just trying to help one other person at a time. And there's a big difference between trying to be the perfect expert that has all of this great experience that they can list out on their website and just being the right person for your people, right? There's a big difference between that. And I will tell you that not everybody wants to work with the top guru expert. Believe it or not, that doesn't always have appeal to everyone. Not everybody wants that. Sometimes they want someone who's just a few steps ahead of them that they trust. Because trust is a big deciding factor in purchasing. They want to know that they feel safe with you and that you can help them. So that is where I want you to start focusing your energy, is on your ability to just help someone. And I know that you know enough right now to help someone in your industry. So start anchoring that belief in, because it will dramatically change the way you allow yourself to show up in your business. The second one that is having you leave money on the table is the belief that nobody is buying right now. Ooh, have you said that recently to yourself, to maybe a peer? Yeah, nobody's buying right now. Oh man, the economy is just so bad. Yep, that's why my sales are down. Nobody is buying. Here's a little truth bucket for you. People are buying every single day. They are actually buying even more expensive services and products than yours. And they feel good about it. They don't have a problem with it. So why wouldn't they buy yours? Really, what this comes down to is that there's a potential sales problem. It's not the economy's fault. It's not that your people don't have the money. It's how you are communicating to them and whether or not they feel that the value is worth the exchange of money. And this is not something to feel bad about or to take personally. Sales is tricky to master. I have spent the last 5 years learning how to sell better. And if you're like, ooh, sales, icky, yuck, I don't want to be spammy and gross and weird, well, that is another belief that's probably also impacting your sales. I didn't put that on the list, but now that I'm saying it, I'm like, oh yeah, we should definitely talk about this, right? And it's that belief that people are going to think you're gross because you're trying to make offers to the things that keep your business alive, right? To the ways that you help people. And I would say, you're on social media all the time, right? You probably get on YouTube, you see ads there, you see them on social media, you see them on TV, you hear them on the radio. Does anyone listen to the radio anymore? Just me? Okay, just me. Well, if you're like me, you hear them on the radio. Man, I'm old school. Okay, but you're getting sold to all of the time. So do you feel like all of it is icky or just what you're doing? When we sell in a very clean and intentional way and from a place of service, it is actually the kindest thing you can do for your people because you have a way to help them. And when you hold back from telling them that way that you can help them, you are actually keeping them from changing their lives. You are holding back the product that could give them so much joy, so much satisfaction, could create a transformational outcome for them because you feel bad about selling, right? Like just notice that. So if it's just a general sales problem, we want to also troubleshoot a few other things. So these are kind of the main ones I just want you to think about. And you can always pause this episode. You can write these down. You can do whatever feels good for you. You can answer them in your head. It all works. So are you clearly communicating what your people think they need, what they think they need, because there's a difference, and then also how your offer solves that for them? And this is too much for me to get into. This is something we definitely go into in Expand membership. But there is a difference between what your people think they need and what they actually need. And you, the one who has the thing that you're selling, you need to know the difference because this impacts the way that you communicate. You want to also make sure that your offer is compelling enough for them to say yes. And that doesn't necessarily mean your price. It means that it is such a juicy offer or product that they read your copy and they're like, ooh, yeah, you are talking to me. I want this. This is going to help me. Okay? So that's something to look at. Additionally, are you showing up and selling often enough? So if your sales are down, but you also, haven't made an offer in 6 weeks, well, there's the problem. So we want to be consistently telling people how they can work with us, how they can buy our products from a neutral place, right? We don't get mad at the billboards for being on the side of the street. We're like, stop selling to me. We're like, oh no, there's just another billboard. And you see it often enough, maybe you'll go try that new restaurant. That's just how it works. But there is a vicious cycle that sometimes happens. And, maybe this is you, maybe it's not. But what I will see happen with clients is that they have low sales or they have a period of lower sales and they start to feel bad. They just start to feel bad about themselves. They feel bad about their business. They start questioning everything. Then they show up even less to their social media, to their email list, wherever it is that they make offers. And because they're showing up less, now they're making even lower sales. And so their sales drop down more. They feel even worse. And now they're like, oh, maybe I should just quit my business. I'm not cut out for this. Do you see what happens? And so they're going down the spiral when really it's a simple problem with a simple solution. They're not making enough offers. That's it. So if that's you, maybe that's the shift you need to make today. The other thing that I see happens is that they feel bad that their sales are low. So then they start pushing harder, but it's out of desperation. So your emotional state impacts your results. And if you're selling from a place of lack or desperation, people can feel that. And that could also impact your sales. But what happens is, they're like, well, I'm selling. I'm making offers all the time, but nobody is buying. It's like, yeah, but what is the belief underneath that action? We need to look at that, because if you're selling, but you're believing nobody's going to buy, you might as well not take the action. Shift your belief first, get in certainty, and then get out there and make the offers. And I guarantee you're going to have a different result. The optimal place we want to be in is being grounded and unattached to what happens. And also in belief that it's possible to sell something today, not someday, but today. What if today someone bought one of your offers? It's possible. But this idea of being unattached and in certainty and belief, I go into this more in Expand Membership. I've got whole trainings on it, because this has really helped me in my business to sustain sales long term. So the final belief I want to talk to you about is the belief that you are too expensive for your people, that there's something wrong with your pricing, that people aren't buying because your prices are too high, like something along those lines. Here's the scoop. It is highly unlikely you're too expensive unless you're like charging double or triple what everyone else is charging, and it doesn't financially make sense for your target audience. So like you are selling, like let's say like a high-end coaching package to people who want budgeting spreadsheets, right? Like there might be a mismatch, that's possible. But it's way more likely that you're not seeing the sales that you want because you're believing that you're too expensive and that nobody's going to pay that. And so like what I just got done talking about is that you're selling or you're making offers with the belief that my price is too high, and consequently you're not really selling from a place of believing that there is someone out there that would think that your offer, your service, your product is a steal. And again, this goes back to what I said at the beginning of the episode. People are buying every single day, and they're buying things that are more expensive than yours. I really see this in the coaching industry. This is just what I know the best. And I see memberships that are $47 a month and ones that are $1,200 a month. And maybe not even that big of a difference in the materials that are offered, but people are buying both. So why is that? There is an audience for most offers, but it's making sure that your offer is aligned with the people that you want to help, that your marketing communicates that, and that your pricing is a match for that. Something else I want you to consider too is that it's possible that super cheap offers won't even sell or sell in the way that you think that they will. I see this happen a lot, like someone makes a program and they charge like a super low price. They're like, I just want to get people in the door, and people don't sign up. And that's because price isn't always the deciding factor for people. We think that it is. That's where our brain wants to go. But really, what is a deciding factor for most people is like, will this solve my problem? That's primary. They want to know that it can help them. And if you have an offer that is going to solve a significant problem for someone, they're going to be willing to pay for it. So it's not the price, it's what you're believing about the price that creates the issues. And if you go out and you're making offers to your product or your service and you're feeling like cringy, you're feeling apologetic because you're charging too much, are you then letting yourself fully shine in your expertise? Right? Can you own it? Can you own what you do and feel confident when you're feeling secretly bad about what you're charging? People love buying from people who confidently hold their offer and price. So you always have two options here. You can get back in belief around your pricing and come up with all the reasons why that's the perfect price. Or if you've been trying for months to get behind your price and it's not working for you and your sales are in the toilet and you feel good in your gut about lowering your price because you can get your belief behind it, then lower your price, because then you're more likely to sell it simply because you're in belief. Because at the end of the day, belief is what sells offers. It's what sells products. So all of this is very nuanced. I'm giving really general advice, and this is why being an Expand Mentoring membership for moms in business is the best place to be, because I can really help you fine-tune your pricing based on your specific industry and what you are offering. And so that way we can create demand for what it is that you do, and you can feel super confident about what you are offering. So I hope that this supported you. You can find all of these questions in the show notes on my podcast or on my website, happierInmotherhood.com. Send me a DM on social media at happiermotherhood and let me know which one of these was like a big aha for you. I would love to hear from you. And I will see you next week.